Ocean Spray is an agricultural cooperative. We are owned by our grower owners, about 750 altogether. They are the primary supplier of all of the fruit that we sell to the consumers. In 1930, Ocean Spray was founded by 3 cranberry growers. These cranberry growers from New Jersey and from Massachusetts, they were looking for a way to come together to find new markets to sell their fruit. Our history has then been one of innovation.
Cranberries are a specialty crop grown in a very unique way. The design to come up with how to grow cranberries, how to manage the farm, how to harvest cranberries, all of that had to be invented because no other crop is using that same kind of equipment. I think that same energy transferred into the co-op from its very beginning.
Our first product was cranberry sauce, and in 1930 that was the only product that Ocean Spray sold. And over the years we've tried to find new ways to sell cranberries. One of the things that people always did when they made sauce was they had juice left over, and they would often sweeten it and their families would consume it. So cranberry juice cocktail was our next major product, which started national distribution back in the 60s. From there we expanded into other products, blended juices, and our most recent innovation is raisins.
Our manufacturing network is split into 2 pieces. The first piece is our food network, where we bring in raw cranberries and start to process them. We have 5 food plants. They're located in Massachusetts, Wisconsin, Washington, and down in Lonco, Chile. The rest of the plants, the larger plants, are our beverage plants. There we take the concentrate that we extracted from the cranberries and we blend up all our juice products. We have 4 beverage plants. Those are located close to major metropolitan areas: Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania, Silver Springs, Texas, Henderson, Nevada, and Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Our spiritual home is in Massachusetts and New Jersey because that's where our founders were from. The areas where cranberries are grown tend to be in the northern part of North America: New Jersey, Massachusetts, Wisconsin, Washington, Oregon, and then up into Canada, British Columbia, Quebec, New Brunswick. We've most recently added Chile to the cranberry growing regions. The average farm in Ocean Spray is about 18 acres. What that means is that we have a lot of small farms across the co-op. They're typically multi-generational farms. It's amazing how much it's a family venture.
I am a 6th-generation cranberry farmer. My great-great-grandfather helped to start the Ocean Spray Cooperative.
My grandfather started this farm in 1919. The family has continued to farm this property for pretty near 100 years, 95 years.
I'm a 2nd-generation Ocean Spray grower owner. We're here in Middleborough at what we call our Grant Farm. This farm is actually contracted with Ocean Spray between myself and my son Spencer. He was the youngest Ocean Spray grower owner at 1.5 years, so very proud of this farm.
My dad bought a small farm that I grew up on. Any chance I got to be down on the bogs with him, I jumped at.
Myself and my family are 5th-generation cranberry growers. Right now I have my daughter involved, my son-in-law involved, and I have a grandson that's beginning to work for us now. So we're very much into this cranberry business.
We love to have visitors because we just love to talk about cranberries. We do. When I talk about Ocean Spray, I usually like to say it's like my extended family because it's a family of hundreds of people that love to do cranberry farming, and it's something so unique and a passion that I share with hundreds of other people.
Here in Massachusetts, we're the pioneers of cranberry farmers. We're dealing with old natural beds that vary in size.
Cranberries are cultivated all year. Sometimes it surprises people because they associate cranberries just with the harvest.
Unlike harvest, the cranberry beds are not flooded. This is what they normally look like.
Right now you can see on the bog there's a lot of bloom. The blossoms have come out. The blossoms look like a crane.
Cranberries are called cranberries because they're in bloom. The flower looks like a crane.
The bee population will pollinate the blossom, and then the blossom falls off and you get the start of the cranberry.
During bloom we also fertilize. This is when the plants need the most nutrition.
You go from there into doing what we call integrated pest management, where you're going across the different bogs and seeing what the pest pressures are. There is irrigation that happens in the summer months, so you'll see all the sprinklers will come on.
We just have to make sure that we irrigate when needed, but besides that, we just sort of let them do their thing and grow.
When summer wraps up, we really start to get a feel of when the bogs are going to be ready to harvest. Historically, the cranberries were harvested using a hand scoop. So people would come across the bog and they'd do a scooping motion, and it would knock the berries off the vine into this wooden scoop. Nowadays, cranberries are harvested predominantly in the water.
When it's time to harvest in September, we add water to the beds. We bring the water just up into the vines.
All the berries are still attached to the vine, all right? But they begin to float.
We've flooded this bog over with about 6 to 8 inches of water. And we're using these reel machines now, a machine with a large spindle on the front. It acts like an egg beater.
And that egg beater reaches underneath the water surface.
Agitates the vines enough to let the berries float to the surface of the water. And they float to the top because they have 4 hollow air pockets on the inside.
We add additional water, which allows them to float up above the vines and any weeds that may be present.
And then we go around with what we call a boom. It's just a bunch of boards all tacked together, and we hustle all the berries. We wrap all the berries into a corner.
The pumps that we use to pump the fruit off the bogs were originally designed to pump live fish. They're very delicate to the fruit. They don't bruise or damage the fruit at all. We pump through a cleaning system. The good cranberries slide into the truck where we can bring it to Ocean Spray.
We bring the fruit in, we then clean the fruit, sort out any leaves or any other debris from the harvest process, and then ultimately wash it and put it into large bins. Those bins are then put on a truck and sent off to be frozen. One of the things that happens at Middleborough is it's one of our fresh fruit packaging locations. So some of the cranberries that are grown by our grower owners in Massachusetts are sold on the fresh market during the fall and early winter season. That's where you can buy fresh cranberries in the produce section of a grocery store. And that's one of the busy activities at Middleborough. But beyond that, Middleborough, our largest food plant, brings in fruit from the freezers. We dump that fruit, we send it through some high-tech sorters to make sure that only really good fruit goes forward. And that fruit's going to be turned into dried cranberries as well as concentrate. The concentrate is then shipped down to our beverage plants to be turned into beverage products.
In a nutshell, that's the cycle that we go through. Mother Nature is my boss, and that's it. I listen, and to my wife.
This is what we love to do. And when you find something you love to do, you give it your all.
If you've ever seen a corral of red cranberries, it's got to be probably, if not the most beautiful thing in the world, it's got to be the next most beautiful thing in the world, because it's just vivid. I came in with an airplane one time, landing in Boston. I looked down at southeast Massachusetts, and it's just beautiful.
We are thrilled to have visitors join us here at Ocean Spray, but there are some practical things you need to keep in mind. The water may look shallow, but it can actually drop off very quickly. Please take directions from either our grower owners or your guide very seriously. This is a working farm, and behave accordingly.
The two things that are very important to us, obviously, are protecting our employees and our visitors and protecting the brand. So we have pretty strict requirements to make sure that nobody gets hurt. And then from a quality standpoint, we want to make sure that nothing ever would interfere with the great quality of our brand. So we do have strict requirements for how people need to be dressed going into the plant. We'll ask you to wash your hands prior to even going in the plant. So there's no risk that we can cause an off-quality product.
The cranberry harvest is nature's most beautiful harvest, and we definitely want you to take photos of the bog. Share them with your friends, your family, social media. Hashtag your photos Ocean Spray Harvest. The one thing we do request is that when you're in our facilities, you check in with your guide. A lot of our technology is proprietary, and we don't allow photos inside our processing plants. With that in mind, we hope you have a wonderful day here at Ocean Spray.
Welcome to Ocean Spray.
Welcome to Ocean Spray.
Welcome to Ocean Spray.